Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to DANDADAN, episode 23, in which we're gonna fight some sort of a kaiju kinda thing that came out of nowhere. No, it's like my running theory right now is still that it was some sort of a kaiju doll, kaiju toy, kaiju figurine, whatever, that somehow got into contact with the golden ball. Either some child put it inside, or it's touched, or whatever, and the power of the golden ball kind of just animated it, right? Although it does seem to be using some like sci-fi tech with the reflective like invisibility panels and stuff like that, and the ball is more like magical than technological. Then again, magic and sci-fi and UFOs and spirits, it all just kind of permeates together in Dandadan. So it could be either. Really, honestly, it could be both. Perfectly probable. So, what happened in the previous episode? Let's maybe start with that. In the previous episode, we met Quinta. We met Quinta, who is a fellow geek, I guess we could say, in a way, kinda, sorta. Quinta apparently has always been somewhere in the background, somewhere in Okarun's vicinity. Quinta is very much into the sci-fi stuff, right? Um, into bacteriophages, into advanced optics, into spaceships, space exploration, probably stuff like that. We don't know if there's anything more to that, right? Anything more like supernatural ish, like, I don't know, belief in some conspiracy, I don't know, no, like tech technologically oriented conspiracy comes to my mind that wouldn't also be connected to aliens and like Roswell and Area 51. Yeah, nothing comes to mind. I don't know, we'll see over time what his deal is exactly. And he wanted to befriend Okarun. He is a bit of a social reject, mm, although I don't think we actually see him like outright rejected by society at large at any point, right? So the question is how much of that of being that social reject is like self-inflicted and how much of it is society being evil. uh what was that saying? Or I think it was a tweet. I think someone tweeted that uh, you weren't a weirdo in high school because you liked the Dragon Ball. You were a weirdo in high school because you tried casting Kamehameha during recess. Something to that effect, right? Like, how much is there because people actually are evil, and how much of that is because he's trying to cast Kamehameha during recess? But yeah, we'll see more about his character in the future for sure. He overhears Momo talking to Okarun about the balls. Well, overhears. She wasn't exactly sneaky with that announcement. He hears it and he comes to a conclusion that, well, shit, he's popular with the girls, he's popular with Momo, he's popular with Aira, and they're talking dirty at each other. So I'm gonna say 10-gallon wiener because that's dirty talk and that's gonna make me popular. Yeah, that doesn't quite work that way, does it? Uh and then he just kind of hangs around, goes with our main couple as they go to check the rumor about the golden ball. He follows them to see what's their deal, to learn right? How can he engage in dirty talk as well, and get a girl for himself? Maybe, maybe they're gonna teach him something. But it was kind of him that taught them something about the optical camouflage, because they did meet. They did spot the golden ball flying in the air, and and it was very hard to catch because it wasn't just a ball flying in the air; it was surrounded by something. So you just see the ball, you aim for the ball, but there is just an invisible barrier in front of it. Kinta came to the conclusion that it has to be some sort of a cloaking technology, and either on purpose or just accidentally figured out a way how to scramble that, and it succeeded. They got um, the thing that was holding the ball, threw it off the balcony. It turns out to have been some sort of a kaiju-like doll figurine, something the size of like slightly shorter than a human, I think, and then it grew. Then it got hit by Rita Repulsa from the moon, and it grew. And now they're gonna need a motherfucking Megazord to fight it. Problem is they don't have a Megazord, so it's not gonna be easy. Certainly not gonna be an easy fight, unless it somehow turns out that somehow Quinta's deal is that his superpower is having a fucking Gundam on standby. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. He's gonna have to be quote unquote useful to the team somehow, and I don't think knowledge of future technology of like DARPA and ARPA and shit like that is the kind of useful we're looking for, right? So he probably is gonna get some sort of thing. I don't know what that thing is gonna be, but it's gonna be something. But we'll see that in the future. And right now, I think we should just start watching this episode, right? Because we kind of stopped it in medias res at the kaiju. Well, not quite rampaging, but it grew and it's ready for battle. And our heroes are distinctly not. So I wonder how they're gonna handle that. It's probably gonna take us this episode at least, because this is the penultimate episode of the show, and the next episode is gonna be the finale. So maybe a fight is gonna be this entire episode. Maybe they're gonna go back to Momo's place and regroup. Momo's place is now made out of nanobots that can freely like reconfigure, right? I think it was mentioned that the nanobots can change. Are they gonna turn her house into a robot to fight? Is that what's gonna happen? Because I have a sneaking suspicion that that's what's gonna happen. Gonna turn her house into some sort of a Megazord slash Gundam slash robot slash whatever, and they're gonna use that to fight. That would be kind of dope. Not gonna lie, that would be dope. But yeah, we'll see where that goes. We'll see where the story takes us, and I think I'm gonna have to lower the brightness a little bit. Maybe. I think it's good. Okay, so without further ado, let's watch it, shall we? To do that, you're gonna need your subs, of course, to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show, and I'm gonna have to ask you for support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, it costs nothing and helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching DANDADAN episode 23 in 3, 2, 1, go. Seems to me like the picture in the camera is a little bit too too warm, still too yellow, but I can't go any lower on color temperature. It's literally as low as it will go in the Elgato settings. Yeah, that's the kaiju. Even has this screech, very similar to Gojira. I love the music. It has that, organ horror vibe with the techno beat in the background. Particle beam? Oh, oh, I thought they got up to her, but no. What do you mean? Everyone disappeared. Uh, is it like the thing that the Serpoyans did? Right? Are we inside of some sort of a bubble pocket dimension? If so, then when did it happen? Yeah, quite. But really, nothing describes this show better in, like, the best possible meaning of the word. It absolutely is ridiculous. And OP, of course. Gotta have that. I hope, against all hope, that they announce season 3 or season 2, I guess, by their measure, in another split core, probably. Frieren season 2 got announced. I wonder if we're gonna get like multi-core season again, or are they gonna go for a split core? Like it seems popular nowadays. I don't think we have a date though. Do we? I don't think we do. Witch Hat Atelier got delayed. Wait, was it Witch Hat Atelier that got delayed? I think it was. Whatever the studio that made Zom 100 was working on now, I think it was Witch Hat Atelier. Which, I mean, makes sense because they clearly have some organizational issues, seeing how Zom 100 went. It's not a Pokemon. Yeah, it's fairly bottom heavy. It's not gonna topple over that easily. Ah, gotta have Particle Beam. Or Lightning Strike, or whatever it's gonna be. Particle Beam. Or lightning beam, I guess. It is power. Electric power. Is it a space kaiju? Or is it an animated toy? I guess, you know, space technology, alien technology is at work here because of the whole pocket dimension thing. Yeah, that works. Just throw some cars at it. Yeah. Okay. It can be toppled. That doesn't give us much, though. Sure. Of course. Oh, the eyes kind of blinked, which would mean that they are like screens, like electric. So is it some kind of a space robot thingy? Yeah, nothing's been able to damage it so far. What's the plan exactly? Like, it seems to be made of metal. Not much that you can do to hurt it. Like, spirits can be harmed with, like, you know, rituals and shit. Flesh aliens can be harmed with the things that flesh can be harmed with. But a robot thing made of steel? Seemingly, at least. No, I don't think so. Actually, I mean, in this show, it might just be the case. uh, a an evolution of a T-Rex that learned to live in outer space, sure. I'll take it. Good to know that her telekinesis is not electrically conductive and that it can apparently be caught. Camouflage. It's still there. It is. Yeah, it didn't lose camouflage. Can use the same trick with looking at it from multiple points. Hmm. Is it a starry sky or. Yes, kinda. He kinda is the worst. Ah, cold. Fuck. Actually, we could maybe use Evil Eye's help, seeing how he's no longer hell bent on killing all humans. Yeah, I completely forgot about the this. Yeah, he had an actual reason to want to avoid that sweat. Oh, he can see that. He can see all that. So there is something special about him. What is it, though? Mm. He's so happy. He really is just a little kid, isn't he? One of two. Oh, two out of two. Yeah, it's no bueno. Teamwork. Now there's a question. Do his henshins. And here comes Gigi. Uh, does his full throttle refresh like every midnight? Or like 12 hours after last use? Or what's the timeline here? And not quite Gigi, it's just the backpack that he threw. Although it shows us that he would be useful to have around here if him throwing the backpack was able to deal at least a little bit of damage. So she's perfectly fine. She couldn't have been any better. They're so friendly. I love the voice filter, by the way. Aww. Yeah? Uh, well, the promise is that he's not gonna fight humans. And you're not fighting a human. So, you know. Maybe Quinta knows something. Nanomachines Son. Nanomachines Son. They're reacting for some reason. I fucking called it. They're gonna turn that house into a Megazord. Is the Tori actually gonna stop it? Yeah. There's a mosquito in here, which is surprising because I have a bug net on the window. He's sulking. Yeah. And it's about enough to make like a Gundam kind of thing. Yes. It will, but you might be able to. Kinta is gonna be able to imagine a Megazord Gundam kind of thing perfectly well. He fucking loves Gundam. Yeah? Yeah? Are we gonna get a transformation scene for the house? Yeah, the whole entire transformation sequence. Or did he imagine like a secret base underground? Is everybody gonna land in their own Gundam? Yep. Everybody gets their own Gundam. Why underwater? There had to have been a lot of nanomachines here. Like, much more than the house was made out of. Is that a Buddha? It's a Buddha. Okay, so they didn't get their individual ones. Yeah, I mean, shit. It might be a Buddha shaped robot, but it's a motherfucking robot. I'm with you, Kinta. Good question. Yeah. Currently, it's just a statue. Okay, so the fight is gonna be next episode then. And it seems like they are all controlling it in some way or another. I never quite understood how that works in Power Rangers, where there's like all five or six or seven or however many of them in the cockpit. Like, one guy controls it, but what do the other Rangers do? I like this spin though. That the dude who is so like immersed in the whole sci-fi thing, his power is literally the power of imagination in a way, and he has this huge fucking tub of essentially Play-Doh that he can form into robots, into fucking spaceships. We're going to space at some point, I guarantee it. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like how they seem to have handled Kinta's power. And spoilers. We're not gonna watch them. We're gonna watch this episode again instead, as we always do, shall we? All of that is, yeah. The sky is black. Yeah, it's, and there are no people around. Uh, that was kind of odd, right? That the kaiju appeared and started wreaking havoc, but there seems to have been no reaction from anybody, like no screams, no people running on the streets, no nothing. Apparently, it is some sort of a pocket dimension, probably the same pocket dimension that the Serpoyans used at school to isolate the special people from the non special people, which makes it very interesting that Kinta made the cut, right? It makes it very interesting that Kinta made the cut, because it means that there is something paranormal about Kinta. We just don't know what. Kinta develops powers. Okay. Some things already paranormal about Kinta. Maybe it's because he came into contact with the golden ball, if briefly, if not directly, and it just kind of rubbed onto him. Maybe it's some sort of an innate characteristic of his. I don't know, but there is something about him that made the pocket dimension decide to take him in as well and not leave him on the outside. It is a kaiju indeed, and it is ridiculous indeed. There is something different about his face, something different about how he's drawn compared to his glasses are translucent. It changes a lot about a character, doesn't it? When you can actually see their eyes. And I like it. I actually really like how he's drawn in this episode. Maybe it's weird, but I really do enjoy his facial expressions and just how incredibly expressive he is here. And I like the choice to actually make his glasses translucent where it matters. I actually really do enjoy him as a character, both from a character standpoint and from the standpoint of just art style and how he's portrayed art wise in this episode. Before it gigantifies, it's an invisible speed type, then it becomes power type, except it does retain its invisibility. Are the horns movable? I think the horns are movable, right? Yeah, like they don't meet with the central nose horn in here, but then they do, so they just kind of rotate forward, which does corroborate the theory that it's some sort of a mechanical creation. Mm, the huge sumo wrestler that we've seen in episode 2, 3 of the series, right? That also looked very much mechanical, very much robotic. So it does seem to be alien technology. We just don't know whether it's what I'm call it, like completely self-sufficient, right? Are those sentient sapient beings who do the thing on their own, or are they actually being controlled? It was kind of hard to tell with the wrestler. In this case, we don't know either because first of all, this kaiju wasn't this big. First and foremost, and second of all, there is the golden ball, which might have animated it. It's entirely possible that it is supposed to be uh, something's on sale on Steam apparently. That it's supposed to be controlled. It's supposed to be some sort of an exosuit, some sort of a mecha, whatever. But because it has the power of the ball, it became animated. Okay, so blunt trauma is is perfectly enough to throw it off balance at least. So it deals at least some modicum of damage. Didn't quite crack the armor or anything to that degree, but still. It can be harmed. That's the important bit. And then it can hide. Ah, sorry for yawning. It's very late here that I'm recording. Mm-hmm. The telekinesis is not electrically conductive. That's good. Some sort of a dinosaur that evolved to survive in space. Now, my own personal sensibilities tell me that it's a completely ridiculous theory and that there are so many theories that would explain the thing, the phenomenon present, in easier terms, in more probable ways, right? Like it could just be a toy that got animated. It could just be a sort of an exosuit for aliens who look more or less like that. It could be a robot created based on earthen pop culture. Wouldn't surprise me if there was some alien out there fascinated with Earth's pop culture creating shit based on that, right? Like, it wouldn't surprise me at all. I would not be jumping into the conclusion that, hey, T Rexes went into space instead of going extinct. The fucking asteroid that came and supposedly killed them all, it didn't kill them. That was actually a spaceship that landed and they got on and they just fucked off into space and they evolved to survive in hard vacuum. That certainly wouldn't be the first place my mind goes. Uh, Maybe it converts an unknown cosmic energy into electrical energy with that horn. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. While it might not be where my mind goes, like it's it's perfectly on brand for DANDADAN if it actually is the case. So I'm not gonna complain. And apparently the lightning is like a piece of rope where you can whip one end and the wave just follows and gives the kaiju whiplash. Ira being Ira, of course, always self-assured, always haughty, always believing herself to be the best. That persona is still there and I like it. I like that this persona of hers disappears only every now and then, where she's actually genuine with Okarun, and where her like ugly side shines through. Yeah, it makes those moments all the more powerful or all the more special that she didn't just completely shed her outward persona. And of course, it still has cloaking, so we can't really drop our guard. Why'd you do that? Why'd you just hang yourself up in the air, perfectly visible, perfectly aimable for? Why'd you do that, Ira? Except just to to fucking T-pose on it. She is T-posing, isn't she? She absolutely is T-posing. Thankfully, she survived. Please don't rip that sweat on me. Yeah, it's crazy how my initial assumptions were exactly the same as Quintas. That Gigi somehow thinks it's gross that we're doing the haha smelly nerd is gross. Don't get your sweat on me, you smelly nerd. Kinda like uh humor, quote unquote, right, at someone's expense. Like my mind immediately went in that direction. Absolutely. Like, here's the Bishonen popular guy, and here's a smelly nerd otaku. Of course, he's not gonna want the smelly nerd otaku sweat on him, right? But no, it's because of water that turns him. Of course, it makes perfect sense, and I just kind of forgot about it. Why did he do that? uh, Very good thing that he threw this bag. It did actually save them. Are you someone like Takakura? Yeah, so he absolutely can see the changes. Question remains, why? Why can he see the changes? Uh Momo can see them because she's a granddaughter of a medium. She's been training her chakra all her life. She opened her chi and has the power of telekinesis, right? It makes sense that she would be able to perceive supernatural phenomena. Uh, Okarun has the power of Turbo Granny inside of him, and the power of golden balls. So of course he also is able to perceive that. Aira has the soul, the spirit, the power of Arco Silky. Makes perfect sense. Gigi has Evil Eye. Makes perfect sense. Why is Kinta able to perceive it? As far as we are concerned, there is absolutely nothing supernatural, nothing special about him. And yet something is special about him, that he's able to perceive these phenomena, and that he was taken inside of the whatchamacallit, of the pocket dimension. He's so happy. Hooray! We're going to McDonald's! Hmm. Yeah, already used his power twice. Yeah, here's where the hit happened. Hmm. Yeah, I wonder. I like this show is not like hard sci-fi, hard fantasy to tell us that the mechanic of Okarun's full throttle is that it refreshes two charges of full throttle refresh every day on midnight, or that there is like 12-hour cooldown and then you get both charges back, or you every 12 hours you recharge two charges for a maximum of two charges, or whatever kind of like gamified rule. I know they're not gonna tell us that, but I really can't help but wonder when exactly does his full throttle recharge. And I think the answer to that is when convenient. When convenient for the story. I think that's the proper answer here. If he runs out and we can't have him use that for the next however long, well, he's not going to be able to use that for next however long because it's not recharged. But if he used up both, and then soon after we need him to use it again, he's going to be able to use them again. And he's going to say, oh, it recharged. I can go full throttle again. And he's going to go full throttle because that's what matters for the story. I think that's the only proper answer here. I love her wide-nosed face. Like, cover the eyes, and it's still a smiley face. Hmm. Look how happy he is. How absolutely elated. No, it's not today. Like a beaten dog. Okay, so the house remains reactive all the time, apparently. I I'm really enjoying Quinta's faces in this episode. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about them. Their expressiveness, I guess, and the fact that a character with occluded, obstructed eyes usually has their eyes shown fully, which is never a common occurrence. Hmm, we can imagine something, and it will appear. And Ira, of course, uses every single chance she can. And this is Quinta's power. The power of imagination. yeah, like he is able to like really truly properly transform this house in like Okarun's attempts were all wobbly and organic and flowy. Kinta's like, nah, I know how it looks, okay? The table is gonna fold in half and it's gonna uncover this, and the walls are gonna come in, and there's actually like fucking servo motors behind the doors, and I get this, okay? I got this. Like, I don't want to say which one of us hasn't, because there's gonna be comments that I never have. But I certainly, as a child, distinctly remember just sitting kind of bored in the living room or whatever and letting my imagination wander and being like, yeah, this table, just go down. And it would open a door and I would go there. And the shutters would come close at the windows so that nobody can see my transformation. And then I will play this weird fucking flute dagger to summon my Megazord. Yeah, that's exactly how it would go. Right? I distinctly remember myself having those sorts of daydreams, so I can perfectly understand Kinta already having it prepared in his mind how a house would transform. Initially, I thought that everybody's gonna get their own Gundam because everybody goes through their own chute. Some of them go to the side, some of them go down, some of them go up, and everybody ends up in their own individual cockpit. Which, again, if everybody is in their own individual cockpit, that probably means they control different things, different robots. But I guess I'm kind of used to how Power Rangers portrayed it, where if they controlled one big Megazord, then everybody was in the same cockpit. Uh, I don't think I've seen any other series with a combiner mecha. Gurren Lagann, I guess, counts as a combiner, and they had two separate cockpits even when combined, didn't they? But in Darling in the Franxx, they were both in the same cockpit. So yeah, I don't know. It just kind of everything here looked as if everybody's gonna get their own individual mecha, but apparently not. Everybody gets the same. Yeah, I saw the little balls on the head and the Tori gate going onto the forehead. I thought, oh yeah, that must be Momo's, because of course she would imagine fucking Buddha and the Tori gate being the source of power and whatnot. So that would be her. I wonder what everybody else's mecha is gonna look like, right? Like Aira's mecha is probably gonna be very pretty. Okarun's mecha is gonna be look like a fucking gray alien. Kinta's gonna look like a Gundam. Gigi's gonna be just optimized for murder. I don't know, but no, no. Everybody gets inside of the same one. Uh, Great Kinta Bosate the Virgin. It has a name even before Kinta proclaimed it. Roboto to kaite Sakata Kinta to yomimasu. Ore no name ha Sakata Kinta. Roboto ga daisuki da shinu hodosuki da. Mina SF teshiteru ka. Sci-fi sci-fi bullshittery, essentially just floating things behind him. I love floating things. I'm just gonna say it right now. Whenever there is a Gundam that has like floating guns around or floating swords, or if there is like a fantasy game or movie or anime or whatever, and there's a class or a character that has like 17 floating swords in a like a circle behind them, and they send the swords around. I fucking love that shit. I don't know why. I couldn't guess, but I just like floating shit. 俺はロボット、君もロボット大好き。どれか、どれくらいかってご飯よりも好き。なぜなら好きだからだ。Yeah. Yeah, apparently everybody is inside, and she had to imagine a Buddha. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it looks like because it's a fucking giant robot. You don't get it, woman. It's a giant fucking robot. uh, I'm not mature enough to stay quiet with a robot in front of me. I understand you, Kinta. I fully understand you. Hmm. Yeah, it has a name. It's an epic fucking name. How do we move it? How do we move it? Because he was able to imagine the entire house being full of fucking servo motors and shit. Was he able to imagine this thing moving though? That's the question. That's a very good question. Ah. Okay, that's the episode. That's the episode, and it was fun. I really had fun during this episode. I really liked that Kinta was able to get his spotlight and get his like sci-fi knowledge and the power of imagination out there and actually be useful for the team, right? Like at the beginning of this episode, I questioned how exactly is he gonna be useful for the team. Well, this is how. He's a sci-fi expert. He's able to imagine all sorts of random tech bullshit, and there's a house that's literally fucking made out of nanomachines. If they need anything, a spaceship, drill that will pierce the heavens, Gundam, fucking boat, whatever, he just touches the house and imagines and creates. That will be fun. That is absolutely gonna see some fun uses. We go to space. It's bound to happen at some point. I'm sorry, it's bound to happen at some point that we're gonna go to space. Maybe in Peony's ship or Chiquichita's ship. Maybe on a ship that Kinta imagines. Entirely plausible. But yeah, his power of imagination is gonna see some use. I have a feeling. DANDADAN is certainly not a show that would introduce something, a character or a concept or whatever, and just discard it. So we're gonna see it relevant again in probably not in near future, right? Because I mean the series is ending, unfortunately. Well, the series, the season. Um, do we know anything about season 3? Maybe. Probably not. Probably not. Yeah. Yeah. So just season 2 discussion threads that I'm not gonna go through. Uh, it's gonna get fun in future episodes. I wonder how many more characters do they intend to add, because like this would be my one worry, I guess, when it comes to Dandadan as a whole. If they continue adding new characters to the main cast at the pace that they are adding them right now, right? Like at the least, what is it? 2 ish characters per season, right? In character, in season 1, we got Aira added to the team, but then we also had Momo and Okarun, so you could count 3 characters. In season 2, so far, we have Gigi and Kinta added. Uh, I hope the main cast doesn't get too big, that this show doesn't become one that has a whole ass fucking ensemble cast, because when that happens, there's always the risk of some characters not getting the spotlight anymore. I don't know how it is in the manga. Like, did they stop getting new characters to the main cast at some point, or do they are they still getting new ones? I don't know how it is. Never read the manga, and I'm not gonna spoil myself for obvious reasons. But yeah, that would be my only worry. I think Kinta, maybe class prez, for whatever reason. I have a feeling that she's gonna get powers somehow, and I think that would be enough, right? Like, if we add like one more character, that's gonna be enough. Any more than that, and it will be very easy to lose focus. But so far, I'm enjoying it. I really enjoyed today's episode as well, and I'm having fun, and that's what matters, doesn't it? But right now, I think that's gonna be it from me for today. But maybe you guys have something more to add on the topic of this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that. If so, say so in the comments down below. No spoilers though, please. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to be notified of future videos, click the bell to make sure, hype the video if there is a hype button, maybe there is, maybe there isn't, I don't know, apparently it's a new thing that YouTube added and it matters. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, it costs absolutely nothing to do so and it helps the channel a lot. But right now, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful patrons: QB, Dr. Wota, Commander Fussel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to fight any kaijus inside of your own house.